Evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to regular meeting of council for the Township of Malahide on June 19th, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:01. We'll proceed with O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Next is approval of the agenda. Any additions or changes? Deputy Mayor?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just having a announcement about an upcoming event this weekend, so.
Thank you. I'll add the announcement about the graduation of our firefighters recruit. Any other changes or additions? Seeing none, may I have the motion, please?
That the June 19th, 2025 regular council meeting agenda be approved.
Mover and seconder, please. Counselor Cerna moves, Counselor Glinsky seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. Next is disclosure of pecuniary interest. Deputy Mayor Widner.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I have one under K, PW 2519, petition for drainage, Smith.
Thank you. Anyone else? So noted. So we'll move to announcements. Deputy Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just wanted everybody to know the Springfield Fun Day is on this weekend, so the committee does a really good job. There's a breakfast in the morning and they have activities for the kids, so if you can get out, they appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. And I just want to extend our congratulations and thanks to, first off, our own emergency services team for hosting the graduation of this year's Elgin Middlesex Fire School graduates. The event was last evening, was well attended, well organized. So thank you to our team for that. And congratulations to the Malahide recruits. We had a few new members joining the family, as they called it last night. So we're very proud of that, very, very grateful for the commitment to service to our community. This brings us to adoption of minutes. We have the minutes from our last meeting, June 5th. Any errors or omissions? Seeing none, the motion, please.
That the minutes of the regular council meeting held on June 5th, 2025 be adopted.
Mover and seconder. Counselor Leach moves. Counselor Cerna seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. Next, we have a public meeting. Can we move into the public meeting with the resolution, please?
That the Committee of Adjustment for the Township of Malahide be called to order at 7:06 p.m. and that Mayor Dominique Giguère be appointed chairperson for the Committee of Adjustment.
Mover and seconder. Deputy Mayor Widner moves. Counselor Leach seconds. All in favor? That is carried. Oops. The purpose of this hearing is to consider an application for a minor variance as submitted by Mike Wall as the agent on behalf of the owner, Cole Simon, relating to the property. Oh, it didn't sound like the motion. Okay. Yeah, the names didn't match, so take two. The purpose of this hearing is to consider an application for a minor variance as submitted by Mike Walt agent on behalf of the owner Cody Becker relating to the property known municipally as 51421 Pressy Line. Mr. Steele, I think, is with us.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Yes, he is on the road. Thank you, welcome.
The owners are proposed. The owners are proposing to construct a two-story detached garage on the subject lands. The property is quite irregular in shape. It's sort of triangular, located along an abandoned rail corridor, and as a result, there's limited area on the property to locate a building based on current setbacks. And so the owners are proposing a reduced front yard setback for accessory building of 5 meters, whereas the bylaw requires a setback of 6 meters, as well as permitting a accessory structure in a required front yard. Additionally, the applicants also seek a increase in height from 6 meters to 7.1 meters, as well as permitting an increased maximum floor area of 161 square meters, whereas the bylaw limits to a maximum of 120 square meters. No comments have been received from agencies or members of the public. Staff have reviewed the application against the 4 tests of a minor variance and finds that it meets all the applicable criteria. And so staff are recommending that the application be approved, subject to 2 standard conditions through the building process. And that concludes our presentation. I have any questions from members of the committee.
Thank you. And just before we go to the committee, is the applicant or the agent with us or online? And do you wish to add any comments?
Hi there, I'm Cody Becker, and I'm just here online. No further comments on my end. Unless
Okay.
you have questions, I do have, I can answer for you.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So to the committee members then, any questions regarding this application? Seems like it's pretty straightforward. So then I'll thank those in attendance for their input or not. And I will now ask the committee to make the decision on the application with the resolution, please.
That report number DS 25-23 entitled Minor Variance Application of Cody Becker and Jason Featherstone relating to the property located at Part 6 S-S Hornby Street, Plan 120, 51421 Pressy Line be received, and that the Township of Malahide Committee of Adjustment approve minor variance application number D13 MV0425 to permit the construction of a new garage, and that the approval shall be subject to the following conditions. 1, that the owner applicant obtain the necessary building permit within 2 years from the date of decision, and 2, that the structure be constructed as per the details shown in the drawings as provided with the application to the satisfaction of the chief building official.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, please. Deputy Mayor Widner moves. Councillor Cerna seconds. All in favor? That is carried. And the resolution to adjourn the meeting?
That the Committee of Adjustment for the Township of Malahide be adjourned and that the council meeting reconvene at 7:10 p.m.
Mover and seconder. Councillor Glinski moves. Councillor Cerna seconds. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, so we can move right down to new business. The first report under new business is Mr. Russell. We have the bylaw enforcement activity report for 2024. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you have the bylaw report for 2024, the activity report. So the first part of 2024 was serviced by Stephen Miller. And in August 19th, 2024, I took over. And so a little bit of background experience for myself. I've serviced municipalities for 18 years in small and rural municipalities. And I have a focus on customer service-based approach at enforcement. And I'm a certified property standards officer, have some building experience, and have quite extensive experience with complex zoning matters. The responsibility of bylaw enforcement officer includes enforcing municipal bylaws, reviewing and updating existing bylaws, implementing new bylaws, and meet the township's needs and drafting policies and procedures related to bylaw enforcement. Malahide's approach to bylaw enforcement is a customer service-based approach, which allows 3 opportunities before the township moves forward for remedial action, with the overall goal of gaining compliance. So we are looking to work with the general public and to gain compliance, and the key components of bylaw enforcement is education. So the following stats were from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Copenhagen, we received 3 complaints. Little Elmer, 2. Lutton, 4. Lyons, 6. Mount Salem, 1. Port Bruce, 2. Rural Malahide has majority of the complaints at 24. And Springfield at 14. For a total complaints of 56 complaints. For complaint types, we have majority of the complaints are either zoning at 13 or barking or dogs at large complaints. Majority of our complaints are 29% of our complaints are related to dogs. So a large majority of those complaints are dog related, whether barking, dog at large, dog attacks, those types of things, followed by zoning second at 23%. The complaints were over 2024 were investigated within an average of 5 days, and over 2024, 56 complaints were received, 49 were closed, and 7 complaints were carried over. The reason why 7 complaints were carried over is sometimes we have complex zoning related matters or longstanding property standards files that are quite large that take some time to resolve that carry over. So that's the reason why some of them have carried over with a closure rate of 87.5%. So in general conclusion, the bylaw department employs a multi-step approach adding compliance with a key focus on education. Bylaw enforcement is a time-consuming in nature, particularly with one-person department that serves 2 municipalities with a variety of pieces of legislation. As education and attempts to work with violators often lead to compliance, this multi-step approach has been very effective. And at this point, I'm ready for any questions for council.
Thank you for that. I'll open it up for questions. Deputy Mayor?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple questions. You got several bylaw issues at 14% and non-bylaw issues at 5%. Can you just expand on that, please?
Yeah, so several, the previous bylaw enforcement officer would break down complaints. So let's say I went on the property and there was zoning and property standards. He would make a complaint for both. So it would actually inflate the numbers a bit. I just count it down as several complaints. So like I could go to a property, there could be dog issues, they don't have licenses, property standards, and zoning. So there's 3 examples of 3 complaints all merged into one. And it's designed to do that for efficiency purposes, that all the notes are in one common location. And the non-bylaw issues are issues where people submit written complaints in, and we investigate them and we determine that it's not a bylaw infraction. A perfect example of this would be somebody submitting in a written complaint regarding a neighbor's cat, where they want to submit a complaint about a cat. Unfortunately, we don't have a bylaw regulating cats. So as a result, it would be a non-bylaw enforcement issue. That also being said, we do receive multiple calls during the week. I receive multiple calls during the week asking about individual complaints. And at that point, I advise people, they'll explain the situation and I'll say, okay, can you please submit a complaint? Or if it's not a non-bylaw related call, like a cat, I'll just tell them, unfortunately, we don't have a bylaw related to that. And I won't even create a file on it. I'll just put it in my notes.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I just don't see the point of creating a file for a non-bylaw issue if I can answer it on the phone for somebody and kind of prevent them from having to do that further step of submitting a written complaint.
Makes sense. Thank you for that question. Other questions or comments? Councillor Leach?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I was wondering how, when you're going out and doing education, how much of your time is spent on education, and is that beneficial in the process to gain compliance?
So as I had indicated, education is a key component. So I'm not going out and specifically standing on a corner educating people, but every single time that I go out to a property, I will educate them about the bylaw. So I'll be like, excuse me, ma'am, I don't know if you're aware, but we received a complaint regarding our barking bylaw, and explain what the barking bylaw is. So that's kind of the education component of it. Also during the notices too as well, I cut out a section of the bylaw and put it in there so they can see exactly what the offense is, what I'm requesting them to do, and a copy of the bylaw. So then they know what the remedial action, so they know exactly what the offense is and what the required action is.
Thank you.
No.
Other comments or question? Councillor Wilson?
Through you, Madam Mayor. Any time that I've had any issues and gotten a hold of for the any bylaw stuff, I've had great response, and I appreciate it. And seeing that the results aren't 100% makes it more believable in my eyes. So thank you very much.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Any further comments or questions? Seeing none, we have the resolution, please.
That report number DS 25-26 entitled 2024 Bylaw Enforcement Activity Report be received.
Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Wilson moves, Councillor Leach seconds. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell. Enjoy the rest of your evening and keep up the good work.
Thank you for your time.
Next on the agenda is a petition for drainage. Director Godby.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you to council, report PW 2519 is a petition for drainage for a property here in Springfield. If you quickly flip to the agenda page 31, you'll see an overview map. The subject property is highlighted there. They are looking to construct a new dwelling at that point in order to meet the requirements for their drainage and grading plan. They need a legal outlet. There is an old defunct existing catch basin from who knows when within the road. The pipe connecting to the municipal drain is in a state of disrepair. And in order to make this go, they've submitted a petition so that we could get basically that branch drain replaced and upgraded and incorporated into the municipal drainage system, so it will have proper maintenance going forward. So in order to achieve all of this, we are requesting that John Spreet from Spreet Associates be appointed as drainage engineer to prepare a drainage report similar to a lot of our severance type scenarios. When we have a drain like this, the subject property will basically incur the installation costs. But I would note that being that this drain is also servicing part of the road, the township will have some future maintenance responsibilities related to that through this drainage report. If there are any questions, I would happily answer them.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Seeing none. Resolution, please.
The report number PW 25-19 entitled Petition for Drainage Smith be received and that John Spreet of Spreet Associates be appointed to prepare an engineer's report pursuant to Section 4 of the Drainage Act RSO 1990.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, please. Counselor Leach moves, Counselor Cerna seconds. All in favor? That is carried. Next on the agenda is the MHIP letter of support. Mr. Gobby, you'll talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you to council, report PW 2520 is for the MHIP letter of support. The MHIP being the Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program. It is a provincial program that is giving out infrastructure money for various projects across the province. Under this particular stream, the health and safety water stream, there's funding up to $175 million in a pot that we're looking to make application on behalf of the township for our portion of the replacement of the Port Burwell area secondary water supply system transmission main, which you're all familiar with. We're looking to just add a letter of support from Malahide Council to that application. Yesterday at the water board meeting, the water board approved a letter of support. Now we have I believe we have a letter coming from Central Elgin. We have one from BAM. We have some from the fire chief. We have some from the medical officer of health. We have some from the chief drinking water inspector. We'll throw Malahide in there. We have Rob Flack's office and Andrew Lawton. I think that's about it. We got 9 or so in total. So our hope is that the more support and publicity we can get for our needs for that water supply system, that maybe we'll be successful in obtaining some funding. So simply tonight, similar to a letter of support that was provided for a previous funding application, we're just seeking authorization from council to have the mayor sign our draft letter of support, which is detailed on page 35, 36 of your agenda. If you have any questions, I would happily answer.
Thank you. Questions?
Not a question. Not a
Councilor
question,
Cerna?
it's just a comment. It'd be kind of foolish not to. You got everybody with God signing a letter of support. Why wouldn't we?
Depends on the criteria, how many points we get for a number of letter. I don't know. We don't make.
Sign letter.
And so are the other municipalities also applying for their portions and then we're supporting them, or what?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you, I guess I do need to correct myself. We're applying on behalf of the member municipalities, primarily at this point being, it's basically it's flying under the banner of the joint board, or of, not the joint board, of the Port Burwell area board. Malahide, as the administrator of said board, is taking the lead on that, so that we're doing a lot of the legwork and just pulling all the stuff together.
Just wanted to be clear, so it's not just for a portion of the project. Excellent. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, resolution?
The report number PW 25-20 entitled MHIP Letter of Support be received and that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Malahide supports Malahide's participation in an application to the Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program for the rehabilitation of the Port Burwell area secondary water supply systems transmission main on Nova Scotia line, and further that the mayor be authorized to prepare and sign a letter of support for Malahide for the MHIP application.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, Counselor Cerna moves, Counselor Glinski seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. Next is the health and safety commitment under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, the annual compliance update. CO Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. This report provides Council with Malahide's annual update on compliance with the Occupational Health and Safety Act, also known as OSHA, and reaffirms our corporate health and safety commitment. Over the past year, all new staff and volunteer firefighters have completed orientation, including training on workplace violence and harassment, and additional required training included working at heights, first aid and CPR, and winter operations. The township continues to strengthen its safety culture using tools such as Safety Hub videos, a dedicated internal SharePoint site, and provincial health and safety resources. 2 joint health and safety committees are active, one general and one for fire services, both exceeding OSHA requirements in member certification and meeting frequency. Regular workplace inspections are being completed monthly as required. In total, 10 incidents were reviewed within this reporting period, addressing equipment damage and minor injuries, most of which were weather-related or operational. Corrective actions were promptly implemented. Importantly, there were no significant injuries requiring WSIB reporting, and the number of incidents has decreased by 38% compared to the previous year. This reduction underscores the township's strong and improving commitment to workplace health and safety. Finally, there have been no formal complaints of workplace violence or harassment since the last update. This update reflects a proactive policy-driven approach that ensures ongoing compliance with legislative requirements and promotes a safe, respectful environment for all employees.
Thank you. Open it up for questions or comments. Councillor Leach.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So it's good that there were no significant injuries, but is there a dollar value associated with the equipment damage?
Through you, Madam Mayor, yes, there would be a dollar value that was, I don't know the exact number per se, but of course the equipment was damaged and did need to be fixed. I don't know if that's something that, shaking your head there. So I don't believe it's anything significantly material.
Thank you. It's good to hear as well.
Any further comments? I think that's another positive report. There's some improvements. If there are, fewer incidents, that's trending in the right direction. So there are no further questions or comments. The resolution, please.
The report number HR 2502 entitled Health and Safety Commitment under Occupational Health and Safety Act Annual Compliance Update be received, and that the Mayor and Chief Administrative Officer be authorized to sign the health and safety commitment on behalf of the corporation.
Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Glinsky moves. Deputy Mayor Widner seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. And this brings us to bylaws. We have the bylaw for the Leonard Jones drain. Resolution?
That the following bylaw be now read a third time and finally passed. 25-25 Leonard Jones Drain Branch C Extension.
Mover and seconder. Councillor Cerna moves. Councillor Glinsky seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. And we do not have any items for the committee of the whole, so we can skip right to correspondence. So there's the first 6 items we can consider as one resolution. We'll need a separate resolution for the community safety and well-being review. So first with the 6th item, any comments or support? Councillor Leach.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to highlight number 3, the Mapleton Church of Christ Disciples 175th anniversary. As a member of the congregation, we're excited to invite everyone to participate in our event in October, celebrating such a long-standing existence in the community.
Thank you for that. Yes, it is an important milestone. Impressive. Any other comments or endorsements? Deputy Mayor Widner.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Number 2, the Elgin County Economic Development Update. that department puts a lot of work and a lot of passion into what they do, and I think we should, recognize that. We had a few initiatives lately that kept them really busy, so we may not see them out there, but they're out there all the time and they're really pushing for business, so I think they should be congratulated. Thank you.
Do you wish for council to send a letter to staff? Any further comments? Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
be it resolved that item 2 be supported and a letter of congratulatory means be sent to the County of Elgin for their efforts on the economic development update, and that the remaining items be noted and filed.
Mover and seconder. Counselor Cerna moves. Counselor Wilson seconds. All those in favor? Motion is carried. And the next item in the correspondence, as I said, is the Community Safety and Wellbeing Review. There's not a lot of time left for comments, so it is recommended that we endorse this, that it was developed by the integration table. And I think you may have noticed in the report in the fall, they plan on broader community engagement where all council will be involved. And I think that'll be a good session to attend and to see how that translates into some of our priorities and strategic plan. So for now, if there are any questions or comments? Meaty document, but should provide a lot of guidance for different organizations, including our police services and emergency services. So the resolution, please.
That Malahide Council hereby endorses the Elmer Elgin St. Thomas Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan update, and that a copy of the Elmer Elgin St. Thomas Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan and the 2025 update be posted on the municipality's website.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Leach moves, Councillor Glinski seconds. All those in favor? Motion is carried. And this brings us to closed session. We do have one item, so we need a resolution to move into closed session, please.
The council move into closed session at 7:34 p.m. pursuant to Section 239(2) of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended to discuss the following: closed meeting minutes of May 1st and a personnel matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Section 239B and F.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Wilson moves, Councillor Cerna seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. And we're now ready to come out of closed session. May I have the resolution for that, please?
The council moved out of closed session and reconvenes at 8:06 p.m. and that the May 1st, 2025 closed meeting minutes be adopted and that there is nothing further to report.
Mover and seconder. Councillor Wilson moves, Councillor Cerna seconds. All in favor? Motion is carried. Brings us to confirmatory bylaw.
That bylaw number 25-40, being a confirmatory bylaw, be given first, second, and third readings and properly signed and sealed.
Mover and seconder. Councillor Cerna moves, Councillor Leach seconds. All those in favor? Motion is carried. And now adjournment.
The council adjourns its meeting at 8:07 p.m. to meet again on July 10th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Mover and seconder. Deputy Mayor Widner moves, Councillor Cerna seconds. All those in favor? Motion is carried. Have a good evening.